Hello everyone! Today I have a back to school layout for you. I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo from just a few days ago on my kids' first day of school of this year. I'm going to be scrap lifting myself, and this is the layout I'm scrap lifting. I love this layout. It's probably one of my all-time favorites, and I'm not sure I'm going to top it today, but we will use the design to help us. I love the stenciling here, and this layout actually showed 4 ways to add layers to your layout. So we are going to use those same principles today, and I'm going to show you different ways to add layers to your layout. So I'm going to set that aside, and I've pulled out the Smarty Pants collection. This collection's from, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, but the paper pack is still available. I also pulled in some of the pocket cards that I thought could work. Everybody's cool on the first day of school. Some colors that match my kids' outfits. This paper pack actually worked perfectly with their outfits, and I didn't plan it or anything. I'm also going to show you how to mix some kits, and that's one of the beauties of Close to My Heart products, is that all of the colors in Close to My Heart's palettes work really well together. So this is the Are You There Yet, or Are We There Yet collection, and you can see it has a lot of similar colors. The blue is a little bit different, but we've got the peach, so I could maybe pull that in. Life is a Grand Adventure, Enjoy the Journey. It's very similar colors, and I thought that could be suitable for school. We're Going Places could work. I don't think that the colors are going to work with my layout today, but just want to point out some of the things in the Are We There Yet collection that might work. So this side could work. Again, well, there's some of that blue in there. The Glacier. So I guess there's Glacier and Capri in here. And then this like little compass, I mean, that could even work because school and going places, like we could pull that in too. So I think I'll pull this one out because the colors aren't quite right, but those could work as well. And then I've got my whole Are We There Yet paper pack off to the side. I'm thinking maybe this The Adventure Begins could be a good one. And then I have these cute little rubber shapes, and I thought some of the backpacks, the colors could work. But I'm excited to bring in this backpack. This is a die that cuts out a big backpack. This kind of folds up, and so we can create our own backpack with whatever papers we want. I've got a few other products set off to the side as well, but I want to just go ahead and dive in, and we'll see how this turns out. Okay, I'm going to put my inspiration layout right here so you can see what I'm doing side by side. Now, I already have my 4x6 photo matted because I know I'm going to want a white mat around it. I usually do that when I have a dark background, which usually is the case. And then I've got a frame style layout set up here, just like I do here. It's hard to see because of the black Versamat, but there is a black mat all the way around. So I have this cut to 11.5 inches square, and then I'm going to gut this so we're not wasting any of this cardstock. If you're not sure how to gut your paper, it's very easy. You're basically just leaving, in this case, I'm going to leave a 1-inch border all the way around, and that gives me enough space to glue this on the outside. So I'm going to go to 11 inches here because our paper is 12 inches, so we want to go 1 inch in on both sides. So I've got this over to the 1 inch, and I'm going to start at 11 inches and bring it down to 1 inch, and then I will just turn it and do the same thing. So I'm 1 inch over, starting at 1 inch and going up to 11 inches, and I will do that on all 4 sides. Okay, so I've got my frame, and now this fits perfectly on here with enough space to add my tape runner. And then this piece can be used for my mat. I probably will do a blue mat, and that's really helping. I can already see it's really helping draw your eye to the center. You've got this frame here to kind of frame everything in, and then you've got the repetition of this color to frame this in, and it draws your eye in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this to 4.5 by 6.5. I've got a 4x6 photo. The white mat is 4.25 by 6.25, and so then I'm going to cut this to 4.5 by 6.5. I usually like to have my mats about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the previous layer. Okay, already looking good, and we haven't even added all the frills. I do want to let you know that this is a collaboration with the creative design team. We are all doing back to school theme, and it's been really fun to see what the other girls are doing because not everybody has kids going back to school, so they're doing some really creative spins on this topic. So I'll have the playlist down below so you can check out everybody else's videos as well. Okay, so time to bring in this layer. Now this is 5 inches by 11 inches. So I know that it's just going to take up a little bit of the space over here, and I'm thinking I want this paper with all of the colors. I definitely want color over here. Just like over here, I use the hero paper with a lot of color and pattern to bring in all the colors, and then less color in these papers here. I don't want to use this one because, well, they don't have new shoes. It says nice kicks, new shoes. The colors would work nicely. Of course, I would cut the other paper that doesn't have it sideways. This is not cut right. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I like this one better. Here are a few more options that I want to show you just so you can see my thought process about, why I don't think it's going to work. So this one doesn't bring in any color over here, and this cork is really cute and I love how themed it is, but it doesn't do anything for my photo. I feel like it just kind of is blah in the background. This is cute again with the theme, the composition notebook, but again, it's just kind of blah back there. I want to bring in a little more color. And then there's this one that definitely has a lot more color, but I feel like it's too busy. It's too busy for how much we have here. I'm gonna bring in some other colors too. So I really like this subtle stripe pattern. You can see that it's supposed to kind of look like a notebook with this line down here. And I'll ink around the edges so it pops off this background. So let's figure out our other layers. Now, since these layers here are more subtle, I thought about bringing this in. But again, even if I just bring in like, a tiny little strip, it doesn't do anything behind my photo. It just, I don't know, it just seems blah to me. We could, again, try this composition notebook, but I have the same issue. It's just not doing anything for my photo. I do want something a little more subtle, but I'm just not liking these. It's not drawing your eye to the photo. I'm just not loving that. So let me check out the pocket cards. Okay, so we've got all these pocket cards to try. And look at that. That just instantly, I like that behind here. And you know what? I might not even do this strip here. I might just layer up. I love the look of layering. And I love layering up pocket cards. So we could layer these up like that. And this one has kind of the blues at the top, or we could turn it and have more reds. I think I like the blues because I don't have a real, he's got a little bit of red in his backpack, but it's almost like a pinkish coralish red, so I don't want the red to stand out quite as much. I really like these scribbles. My son's in 2nd grade, my daughter's in 5th. So the scribbles still, it kind of fits my son. I kind of just like how the colors are brought in and it doesn't have to be super literal. I'm not sure I like it like that. Now I could cut down these pocket cards, and I probably will. I'll cut this out so then I can maybe use this down here as well for more layers. I've got this, everybody's cool the first day of school. That could even be my title. And then there's this one. Let me try this instead of this. I just really like this. I like all the colors that it brings in. I think I'm going to stick with that. Again, I will ink the edges. This will be kind of like this. And then I can use the other halves of these down here. So I think I'm going to try that. Let's just try these real quick. These are from that Are We There Yet travel collection. Not loving that. This maybe I could use to cut out a piece from that backpack. This could work down here too. I like that the blue is being drawn down here, but I think I might use the excess from here down here. So let me cut these. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these, get them inked up, and then we'll come back and see how these excess pieces that I cut off are working down here. Okay, I've inked everything up and gotten this base layer down. So I just used my Sapphire ink and a foam dauber tool or foam blending tool and just went around the edges. I didn't actually do the photo mat yet, so I'll just do that here on camera. It's very easy, just kind of go around. I like to hold it in my hand, and then I feel like I have a good leverage as I do this. And just kind of go around. You don't need a lot. A little bit just makes that pop. So see how this is definitely now popping off of that background. All right, and I haven't cut these yet. I think I want them about like this. And what I'm going to do is just hold this in place and kind of just cut this excess off. I'll leave a little bit of extra room so I have space to adhere it. And then I've got this little piece that can go down in the corner here. Okay, I don't have these adhered yet because I'm gonna bring in this backpack die. And I don't want, like this could get covered up by it. So I might actually move that, but I wanna bring this in. And so there's all of these little pieces that will cut out the backpack. You can do that. You can add all of these extra little pieces. So I'm gonna get a bunch of these cut out and then we'll bring them in and assemble. Okay, so I have my backpack pieces cut out, and let me just show you how this works. So this big one that I had shown before cuts this. So this little piece tucks in, and then you've got this stitching around the edge. So just keep in mind when you cut it, this is how it cuts. So whatever you want the background of the backpack to be, that's going to be the back of what you cut, because you want the stitching to be on the front. So I cut this on the light side of Glacier, and then you fold it and it tucks in just like this. But then I thought, well, it would be cool if this was on the backpack, because I wasn't sure how else to incorporate it, and the backpack's going to be a pretty big element. So I took the die, and it's not quite long enough, but I did line it up exactly where I wanted it, and it was almost not big enough. But I lined it up like this, taped it in place, and then ran it through my die cut machine. You can see it doesn't quite go down all the way, but so then I cut the full piece for the background, and so we'll just have a little bit sticking out down here, and we can cover that up probably with some embellishments, or it's really not that noticeable. So then once I glue that down, this will tuck into here. And then there's these other pieces. So these are the other pieces that I cut. This is going to be the handle of your backpack, and it's a little longer just so you have space to glue it. And then these are the two little sides. And I think that adding these really make it look more like a backpack. When you have just this main part, it's kind of like, it could double as a tag. Like you could just cut this out and it would be like a tag, but this really helps it to form that backpack look. And then I didn't cut these because I've got the saying on here and I didn't want to cover it, but these will create additional pockets. So if you want to cut another pocket, like in an accent color, this one or something else, you can cut those and then have a couple of pockets on there like that. And then this is like kind of a stitched badge that you would put on right here. And you could put their name on it, or just leave this off, or use this for something else. It's useful for lots of different things. So that's how that works. I was also playing with using this. This would have fit a little bit better because it's a little bit skinnier. But when I held it up, I didn't want all these colors because we have a lot of color already in these background pieces. So I liked this one, how it's just the two colors of blue, and it doesn't draw away from the photo. So that's why I chose that one. But this one would totally work as well. If that works with your color palette, then you can cut this and it actually fits better with this die. So here it is all put together. It will open too, so like if you wanted to put some hidden journaling in here, you totally could. I am not going to do that. I don't have a whole lot to say, so I'm just going to write it on my page, or maybe not even do anything, because I'm really just going to put the year on there. And they're holding up their hands, so that tells us what grade they're in. So this is why I didn't glue this down yet, because I thought that this was going to go here. So I might even stretch these layers out to be kind of, you know, way out here. And then I want to do some stenciling. So I have my inspiration layout here because I'm going to do my stenciling over here. But see how there's that stenciling there? So that's going to be adding another layer. So we've got a lot of layers with the paper. I did even more layers here because we don't have that piece that's going all the way down. Like in this one, we don't have this layer. So we did these layers just a little bit different. We have them kind of layered, tucked behind the photo, and then possibly down here. Or maybe I'll have this go up here more. Oh, I kind of like that. And then this can be like that, or I want the stripes to go horizontal because that's how they are up here. Could even kind of tuck it in there. I like how it draws this color out here. So I mean, all you need is scraps to do a layered look. I'll bring it down a little because I don't want the backpack to cover up my daughter. I like that. So let's bring in the stenciling. So I first was going to use this stencil. Hopefully you can see it. It's just an alphabet, and I thought that would be really nice with this theme, but it's too large of a scale. So this is a 12 by 12 stencil. It's designed to be the whole background of your 12 by 12, but I just want to kind of have it radiating from right here, and you're not going to see much more than like the A, F, B, C, a little G. It just was too large of a scale. So I was kind of bummed about that, but then I dug into my brand new stencils, and we have this one here. Now let me show you in the catalog because you can see it a little better. So there's all these new stencils, really cool. I am going to use this brick one because my kids' school actually is a brick building, so it works nicely. And a brick is typically red. I don't want something that dark, so I think I'm going to go with peach, kind of a toned down brick. And then that goes with the peach that we have here. It'll just kind of be a nice little addition to the background. Another color that would be nice with this would be the glacier, to bring in a little bit of glacier. And that's actually, I might have done lagoon on this one, but I really like the light tone of the blue in the background. But I'm gonna go ahead with peach to make it look a little more like brick. But there are all of these new 12 by 12 stencils, as well as some smaller card front stencils in the new catalog as well. This is the new annual catalog that comes out September 1st. So these will be orderable September 1st. This comes as a set, and this comes as a set. And this is a layering set. And let me just show you. I gotta show you this page because this is me. This is me and my mom and my daughter, and we made it into the catalog, which is really cool. But this stencil that they use in the background is this one. So you rotate it. So you've got the flowers, the little dots that are sprinkled back here, the leaves, and then these other little flowers and the flower centers. And so you keep rotating it with the different colors, and I'll show you a demo of this because I have some fun ideas for this. But really, really fun new stencils coming. I'm gonna be using this brick one today. So I have my all-purpose mat already out, so I'm just gonna slide this over here and kind of get these roughly into the place that I want. And I think it'll be about like that. I'll have my title down here, 2023. So I think that's probably pretty good. And then I want to get these out of the way. This is why I didn't glue anything down. And I'm working on my all-purpose mat just in case I get anything off the edge. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my peach ink and just set it right next to me here. And since I don't want the harsh lines, I'm going to use, first of all, a blending brush because this works better on the stencils. The soft bristles help to get into all of the little nooks and crannies. And then I'll just blend it onto here. And then I'm going to start down here because when you put this down, sometimes it makes kind of a harsher line. Now I don't have a lot of ink on here yet, but I just want to start behind the photo and then work my way up. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I want kind of a rounded finish. I don't want a harsh line at the edge. So I'll just put my ink down kind of behind the photo and then bring it up and go in a circular motion. I'm going to speed this up from here, but I'm just going to continue going in that circular motion. Right now, this is very light, so I want to check it out and see how it looks. I want it to go out just a little bit further, so I'm going to line this up again, and I'm going to move the whole stencil over and line it up. Now, not every brick lines up with each other, but you can find points where the bricks do line up, so it's easy to extend this if you need to. So I added a little bit more, and it does look quite a bit lighter here on camera. When it's in person, it was just a little bit darker, so just imagine it a little bit darker. And then I ended up adding a little bit down below the backpack as well. Now I cut those pieces that are in the bottom left under the backpack even further so that I have some extra pieces for my little banners up in the top left corner of the layout. But before I adhere anything, I want to add some shimmer brush just like I did in my inspiration layout. So this is all forming our layers. We have the base layers with the stencil and the shimmer brushes, and then the paper layers. So if you're someone who struggles with layering, then try just breaking it down with the stenciling and the splatters and just some scraps of paper that you can layer behind the photos and start that way. Now I wanted to add some stamps from this Smarty Pants stamp set, and so I've got this one. I was thinking maybe candy apple, but I think it's too much of a pop of red. So I'm going to try avocado instead, which is the green color that's in this paper pack. Sometimes it's hard to decide what color you want to stamp something until you see it. So I'm stamping it onto scrap paper first and then holding it up to make sure that I like it. And I do like the avocado color. Now I am taking this idea from Crafty Concepts with Erin and adding this A+ in the middle of that circle. I love how cute that looks, and I'm going to add this to another embellishment cluster. I decided to have my embellishment clusters in the same spots as my inspiration layout. So I'll be building, the largest one is that backpack in the bottom left, and then I'll have another cluster in the top right, and then a little cluster up where those banners are in the top left. The same stencil with the bricks also has this ruler, and I thought it would be fun to do that, and I decided to do it in lemonade just to bring a little pop of yellow. And then I'm bringing back this peach pocket card tag. This was from that Are We There Yet collection, and I cut a small tag from it because I wanted to bring some peach over to the right and also up to the top, and so I was able to strategically cut that to get enough from that pocket card. And now I'm going to start bringing in some stickers. Most of them are going to come from the Smarty Pants sticker sheet, but a couple are coming from the Are We There Yet collection as well. So here's what I have left of this sticker sheet. Lots of fun bright colors, but I didn't want most of those larger stickers. So I'm just kind of picking out some of the smaller ones and trying to make sure I have each color in each embellishment cluster. So that one on the bottom is the one from Are We There Yet? And I needed a little more green up in the top left, so I'm going to add the green, bring that peach banner back in. I still need to ink around the edges of that. And then I needed a little red over in the right hand cluster. So there's a little pencil here. And I'm taking the stick off of each of these stickers with my anti-static pouch that's kind of down there on the bottom of the screen. I keep it in that craft jar so that it keeps the cornstarch or whatever's in it, baby powder, kind of contained and doesn't make a mess. And then I can just kind of dab my stickers on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I have all of the colors in each of the clusters spread evenly around the page. I knew I wanted to add more yellow because of the yellow, ruler line that I stenciled in. So I found this lightning bolt, and it's going to end up in the top left. If you're enjoying this video so far, then please give it a thumbs up down on the button below so that YouTube knows that you're enjoying it. And if you haven't already, then consider subscribing. I post 2 scrapbooking videos a week in hopes to inspire you for your own scrapbooking. Now I'm going to add one more sticker right here before I show you how this ended up and compare both of the layouts side by side. I ended up removing that arrow and adding some acrylic shapes that added more presence to the layout, added a little more red because the title was so bold. I wanted to have a little more pops of red around the page. And then I added this little backpack and the little camera over to the right of the title. So let's take a closer look at everything. We have some dimension here with that embellishment. I put it on some thin 3D foam tape, and I put the title, the 2023, on thin 3D foam tape as well. I added a little more brick stenciling under the title, and then I added a little bow on the tag so it's not naked. So as you can see, I definitely drew inspiration from the layout on the left, but it turned out quite different. So I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check out the Creative Design Team playlist on the right for everybody else's take on back to school. And if you'd like to see the layout I created last year, that is on the left. Thanks for watching and have a great day.